I really thought that retirement might be kind of boring, but I was completely wrong. And it came down to a few things that I started doing that really made the days feel more meaningful. Let me share seven that made a big difference to me. Hi there, I'm Debbie, and if you're new here or you're returning, welcome. And this channel is all about the real side of retirement, the things that people don't always tell you, but you wish they did. And today's topic is a big one because having something to wake up for each day can really completely change your retirement experience. Let's start with the one that I think probably surprises a lot of people. Number one is gardening. And particularly today, I'm going to talk about container gardening. One of the first things that changed for me was doing a little container gardening. Gardening isn't just about plants, it's about purpose. You wake up and you check on something that depends on you, and you see progress, growth, and results. And there's something deeply satisfying about that, especially after leaving a structured career or raising a family. So, living here in the Boise, Idaho area, we get real winters, and I really enjoy growing plants indoors in containers. And I had a little experience this year where last August I got to eat one of the first apricots off of our 2-year old apricot tree. And it was so delicious. And I remember thinking it would be fun to try and grow it. I really didn't think it would work. So after drying the pit, and I searched YouTube for instructions, and I cracked it open and took out the pit. And keeping it moist in the fridge for 2 months, it finally sprouted. I was so surprised. I planted in a little pot and put it in my kitchen window. And I remember saying to my husband, I'm so surprised at how much joy I'm getting from watching this little tiny apricot tree grow. It's been incredibly rewarding, and now it's ready to move to a bigger pot. We actually, for the last few years, have used these large pots that were left over from trees that we bought. And each year I use the same soil and just add a little manure to it and mix it in. And we have right outside our kitchen window cherry tomatoes. And I also love growing these little yellow tomatoes that are called sun sugar. I don't know if you've ever tried them. So sweet and good. Nothing fancy, and it doesn't take up much room. And so the best part about container gardening, you can start in as small as a few pots on your patio. You don't need a big yard, just a few pots and some soil in them and a little sunlight. And it gives me a reason to step outside each day, and it gives me a small sense of accomplishment, and it's fun. Number two, intellectual and spiritual growth, like reading and studying and journaling and quiet reflection. I truly have enjoyed journaling, and my hope is that my children will appreciate these records in the future. I was thinking about a time today when my mom was still living. She lived in Arizona, and so we didn't live close to each other. And I remember visiting her one time, and I turned my phone on to the voice memo and just started recording her and just had a conversation with her. And just asked her all kinds of questions about her growing up and raising us kids. And um, when I got home after that visit, I typed it all up. And then a few years later, when my mom, she actually had a stroke, and I was getting ready to get on a plane to fly down to see her. And I thought I should print that out and take it with me because it didn't look good. But she ended up passing away. And a few days later, we were able to read that at her funeral. And it was so meaningful for us all to hear her exact words and to hear how she felt about raising each one of us. So her words were incredibly meaningful to us. Because of this experience, writing things down has become incredibly important to me. A few years ago, one of my kids gave me a subscription. This is what I ended up with. They put it into a little book, and it was the company is called Storyworth, and um, I loved how each week they sent me a prompt. Actually, you could choose multiple prompts, and it would have questions like this one was, "What was your mom like when you were a child?" But it was something I really enjoyed, and I hope that my family will appreciate in the future. I also write in journals. I actually have a personal journal, and then I also have a scripture journal where I'll write down if a scripture stands out to me and then my thoughts. I think when life slows down, you finally have space to not only think more deeply, but to try new things. And I think that kind of growth has brought a lot of peace and direction to my days. The third one I thought of was volunteering. Another big shift came when I started volunteering. I think helping someone else, even if it's just in a small way, it really affects how you feel, I think, in your day. It gives you purpose. And I just wanted to share there's a website called justserve.org, and on there you can put in your zip code, and it will bring up way more opportunities to volunteer or do service than you could possibly ever to do. So I really feel like helping others changes how your day feels. And it reminds you that your time and your experience still matter. Number 4, learning something new. I've also made the point to keep learning, and it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be a new skill or a hobby or something you've just always been curious about. I've gone to a local community college and taken classes like art classes. So I think one of the reasons I started this YouTube channel is to learn something new. And it has been incredibly challenging, but very fun. I think learning keeps your mind active and actually makes life more interesting. Number 5, a small side hustle. This is only for those who want to. This one surprised me. I started a small side project, not because I needed to, just because I wanted to. Something simple that's kept me engaged. And it gave me a sense of contribution again without the pressure of a full-time job. And actually, my husband also has gone back to work part-time and really seems to enjoy it and have something to look forward to. Number 6, daily walks or simple routines. I also realize how important simple routines are. Even something as basic as a daily walk. And we do have times here in Boise where it's actually too cold to be walking outside, at least for me. I found this fun little exercise bike. It's called a recumbent bike. I don't know if any of you are familiar with it or you have one, but it's very comfortable to sit on. And when it's too cold to go outside, I usually ride the recumbent bike. And one thing I have noticed is I feel like I've got more strength in my legs now. I can tell the difference going up and down stairs or getting up and down. Besides the value of just exercise and getting out, I think it gives your day structure and it helps clear your mind, and you feel better physically and mentally. Number 7, social connection. Now, I have a tendency to be an introvert. And so I'm happy being home reading a book or doing something like that. But it is invigorating to get out amongst people. Most importantly, I've tried to make the effort to stay more connected to people. Joining a group or attending a class or just spending time with others regularly. because I think retirement can be lonely if you're not intentional. And life is just better when it's shared. So looking back, retirement didn't become meaningful on its own. It became meaningful because of what I'd choose to fill it with. I thought I would be bored, but I was wrong. If you could start with just one of these, what would it be? Let me know in the comments if this has helped you, and I'd love for you to subscribe for more. Thanks for spending part of your day with me, and take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time.